right, joined right now with Lucas Christensen and Patrick Weeks, writers and creators of some of the most beloved games of, I would say, all time with Dragon Age and Mass Effect. First off, I want to say about your shirt, where did you get that?
Oh, this is a Bioware official.
Do you have you're not selling them now, are you?
No, I have no idea if they're still in stock, but every once in a while they come back.
Okay, because that's one of the first ones I want to tell you about, because I've played through all the Mass Effect games, and my wife likes to watch me play, and she cries every time Mordin dies. And I don't know, are you guys responsible for some of Mordin or these decisions, or what's the story there?
So I was Mordin's writer on Mass Effect 2, and in Mass Effect 3, John Dumbrow handled most of the Tuchanka story arc, but I came in and helped with the Mordin voice, and he and I together did the scene where Mordin helps cure the genophage, or doesn't, depending on your actions.
Right, and as far as Mordin and his personality and the singing and all that, where's the inspiration for that? Because he really is one of the most lovable characters in any video game.
Well, it was tough because Mordin is he's a complex character. He's made some decisions that a lot of people would consider kind of horrific, and so I wanted to. I started with someone like an Oppenheimer type character, because that's the kind of person he is. That's what he's done. But I had to figure out how to make him more sympathetic, and how to make him not just that all the time. How to make him someone who goes to different places, someone who has different character possibilities to him. And we just tried to make him as deep as we could, just see how many different places we could take him.
And another one of the beloved characters from Mass Effect would be Wrex. I don't know, are you responsible for Wrex, or how did he come about?
Partially. I wrote a good chunk of Wrex on Mass 1. I wasn't his primary writer on it. I'm the reason you can kill him, and I'm the reason you can make Ash kill him. But he was a great character. We wanted a character who could be Shepard's bro. I mean, I wrote when you met him in Mass 2. That was the scene that I also wrote there. With Shepard, my friend, there needed to be a rock solid. If you got him to survive, that was a rock solid kind of pairing for you that you could count on. You knew that in this sea of snakes, that guy, he's got my back. And those kind of relationships are what we build a lot of our characters on. The character that you can have the best buddy with, you can agree with, and that somebody else can go, I had to get rid of that guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't fit in my playthrough, I mean, it's like the Mordin character, you can either see where that character is going or disagree where that character came from. Both are absolutely valid, and it's up to the player. That's the kind of character choice that we like to support and try to support in all of our games.
For characters such as Wrex and Mordin, do you have real people in your lives that you're kind of modeling from, or where do you get these inspiration for these because they really do feel like real characters, they really do exist?
Okay, so by the time, usually once we get the voice actor in, it just becomes the voice actor. But at the very beginning, I have a couple of people I model off of. For me, Mordin was midway between, and this sounds weird because it's not what he ended up as, but what he started as was a little bit of Steve Buscemi, and a little bit of the actor on Justice League who did The Question.
Going deep.
I know, right? But I was like, okay, that character voice, I started from there and then gave him his own spin. And then by the time I got the voice actor back, I was like, okay, that's who he is now. And the voice actor, for me, it's been, for every voice actor we've had, is always, they've helped define the character and gotten into it. As soon as we get the first session back, we're like, oh, okay, this is what I can write now. These are words I can say.
Interesting. So you kind of change them as you hear the person voicing them.
Absolutely. The voice actor plays a huge part for us. The voice actor and the cinematics. Realizing that there are lines we don't have, lines that we can write in an easier way because we know the voice actor can sell it, or lines where we don't even have to have a line of dialogue because the cinematics will be able to convey with facial expression that, oh, okay, this is what this person's feeling, this is what they're doing right now.
And finally, one other character that I want to talk about from Mass Effect is Garrus. And are you responsible then for Garrus as well? Or yeah, how much of it's is it collaborative? Is it you writing at home or?
Well, so What we'll do is we'll have a primary writer who owns each main follower character, because they'll be the guardian of that character's voice. But we will also have meetings where we decide the relationship with the other characters, and as we write the game, we get so much in everyone else's heads. Usually when someone does a voice check, it's just, yep, that sounds like them, because we get it. So there's a lot of scenes that I'll write that have Garrus in them.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of scenes that he writes that have my characters in them. And we have to be confident enough in the other writers and in our editors to catch it if anyone's like completely off the rails, which is rare, that we've all got the voice, because when you have a project with multiple writers, you're going to have drift. You get, like, I write this way, he writes that way, Cheryl writes this way, whoever writes.
On Inquisition, for example, I'm not sure there was anyone but Luke who could write Sarah. Sarah was a very...
Yes, well, that's true. And that was one that was also heavily influenced by having the absolute perfect actor for it. Because that was a character that existed in my head in some way for a number of years. We did an audition script. The VO director got it to Robin Addison, did the audition for it, and we had a couple other actors audition for it as well. And at one point, the VO director was fishing for, like, would you like a name? Like maybe somebody, because we've had some luck with like the Torchwood alums for some of our games, and the question was like, would you like somebody, who's more famous, I guess. And my answer was, well, sure, but it wouldn't be because they're better, because this actor is the best for this character. Her voice was spot on from day one, and getting to write that character with that actor, with the concept artist working on the character, with the design and the cine, all on the same page, was awesome, and that shapes the voice for the character as well. It does every game.
Yep.
And finally, for just one last question here for Dragon Age, then too. My favorite character for that is Morrigan, and she's one of those that can be like, super sexy and seductive, but at the same time could kill you in a second. Is there? I don't know if you guys have is that like an ex-girlfriend or something? Is there anything that came about like that?
No, that was Dave Gator's character, and he just really wanted someone who was, I think, practical in a world that in many cases was more interested in superstition or tradition. And I think that's kind of where he went with her.
And a character that is absolutely on her own path.
Yeah.
That you can influence, but she's going where she's going. And if you're on her good side, that's going to be great. If you're not, that is a dread that's living in the back of your head forever, because the character is powerful and knows things that you can't. And characters knowing things that you can't, can be frustrating on one level, but there's also shows a depth to the world as well.
Right.
And you thread the line between frustration at why don't they tell me answers, but also, if you answer too many questions, then the world gets shallow.
Yeah.
So, she is a character that is very much, that is Dragon Age.
Well, she reminds you that the world is bigger than you.
Yeah. Well, sometimes absolutely literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is voice actor Crispin Freeman.
This is Courtney Taylor.
This is Quentin Flynn here, and you're listening to Game On.